good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today we are back with another discussion video. Now, this is a continuation of the most unhinged player in Destiny 2. So if you don't know the context of that video, go and watch it. Before we get into this video, though, thank you guys for all the support and response on that video. It's the reason why I'm making this one, because I have finally cracked the code of IRA SCP-89P13, and well, it's interesting how this all kind of went down and how I found out all this information. If it's true, that'd be wild. But to kind of give you some context about what we're going to talk about here, if you guys haven't seen the first video, I'll give you context. So there's this guy named IRA SCP-89P13, and he has nearly 3,000 VOG clears, which a lot of you were saying, like, oh, 20 VOGs in 3 to 4 hours, that's easy. No, because usually it takes an hour to get VOG done. So that's like 20 hours playing Destiny in a day. And this dude's doing a VOG every hour, on the hour. And I was like, what drives this guy? Like, I wanted to do an interview with him, and I was like, how are we going to get this started? Well, I actually almost got to play with the guy. Almost. And we're going to dive into this. I took screenshots from a few of my streams just to kind of get, some information on this guy, if any. And I didn't get much, but here we go. I'm going to show you guys what I found. By the way, just context here. He's currently at 2,804 completions. I have it on my phone. He is cracked out of his mind. He's insane. But it's not as insane as you think. I've solved this mystery. Okay, so here's a live reaction. I'll hide my cam for this just so you guys can see it. Live reaction. Where's that image? Yeah. Live reaction of me reacting to getting into a group with IRA SCP-89P13. Now, the text chat, I was like, VOG? IRA says, sure. So, at first, everything's all, it's all hunky-dory, dude. It's all hunky-dory. Like, this guy was down for it. He was like, let's do a VOG. Sure. And, I proceeded to get into a game with the dude. Again, if you just want to see my live reaction, poggers, let's go. Proceeded to do an LFG. And apparently, IRA was not okay with doing an LFG. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Why wouldn't you be okay with doing an LFG? It's weird, right? And there's something here, because I don't think Izumi, the guy in blue, he goes gulp. Because he didn't join through the LFG, I don't believe. He joined off of IRA. So I guess they're friends, but I don't know if that's the case. I have no way of knowing, but I think they are. Because if we look at the next clip here, or next image, right? We got a group together. Had to kick someone, but we had a group together. And also, you can tell that, Izumi didn't join through the LFG, because right here, he's not in the Fireteam Finder. He joined off of IRA. But this next image proves it. I'll hide my cam again real quick. But you can see, like I asked VOG, sure. Izumi goes gulp. Izumi goes, I'll host IRA. And then IRA goes, too many bumbas. I had to look up what that word meant. Apparently, it's like a Jamaican term. It refers to butts. So he was like, too many asses, too many butts. Apparently referring to the LFG people. And that's kind of where things ended in terms of playing with IRA. Because I didn't even get to do, we didn't do the first, we didn't even do the first introduction to VOG. I loaded in with the guy and he dipped. And then, of course, we had this guy named Daryl. Daryl had he was like, I love VOG so much. And I was like, Daryl, you're not IRA. Trust me, you're not him. And that's where, this all happened in one stream, and that's where it kind of ended. And I was kind of like, well, now I don't want to do VOG. And I went and did a final CP of Sunder Doctrine. But, that's where it ended. I thought that was the end of it until the very next stream. It was literally next day. By the way, this Izumi guy, I think, was IRA's friend. and I probably if I didn't do an LFG, we probably would have been good. But it's interesting. It's really, really interesting. But then we go to the next stream live reaction. Boom, there's me. Pay attention to the guy with the heart emblem. Has no name. Just had a Bungie ID. We call him 9318, I believe. 9318 is what I refer to this guy as. Can't look him up. There's no way to. Wish you could, but I'm sure if I hovered over his Bungie profile, I would have seen his actual name, but I had no way of looking him up. So I don't know if what this guy was saying during the raid was truth, or if he was telling the truth. But it made a lot of sense to me when he was talking about this. So I did a VOG the next day. I did it with this random group. Random people, don't know them. But we load in, and I asked 9318, because he seemed like he was like a professional at VOG, like he knew what he was doing, and I was like, how many VOG clears 9318? He's like, fulls are just total. And I asked total, he says 435. Now, when you think about it, I have 36 completions now in Vault of Glass, and only 36. He has 435. The fact that freaking Ira has almost 3,000, that's such a huge gap. And I was trying to figure out, like, how Ira reached that. You know, that was kind of this whole thing. It was like, how does Ira get 3,000 clears? What drives this guy? You know, we know nothing, right? And this is gonna get crazy. What I'm about to accuse someone of. But so he gives me his number of clears, and then my reaction, dude, I was like, oh my god, bro. So just it's a context here. So I said, no, I know a guy who almost has 3K, and I put in his Bungie ID, right? And it's wild that I even did that, but I was like, I have it there in my copy paste for PlayStation, and I was like, I'll throw it in just, you know, if he knows the guy. And then 9318 immediately goes, Ira all cap, like 1,200 of his runs are with net limiter. And I had to look up what net limiter is. Because I didn't even know what it was. Apparently it's like, just here's the basic definition of what net limiter is for those who don't know. Net limiter is a Windows-based network bandwidth management application that allows users to monitor, control, and prioritize internet traffic on a per application basis, offering features like limiting speeds, blocking connections, and creating rules based on various criteria. So allegedly, Ira is using a net limiter, and it's, I guess, I don't know, I feel like this is a thing, this is a cheating tool, I guess, to get runs. And that's what I thought it was at first when I asked 9318, and like I was like, is he faking all of his runs? Like, are those numbers not real? Like, is he somehow just getting completion after completion? And then we move on to the next image, and I asked, and 9318 said exploit, and I was like, Ira has fake runs, and 9318 said Ira lags the game. The exploit the net limiter lags the game and lets you do like 20 million damage in 5 seconds. So keep in mind, my damage alone during Atheon is probably like 3 million to 4 million damage on average. Like you're not doing a ton of damage on Atheon by yourself. But the fact that 9318 says the net limiter for Destiny it lags the game, lets you do like 20 million damage in 5 seconds, everything started to click. And this is kind of where this is where this whole thing is. This 9318 guy literally cracked the code on who this Ira guy is and, you know, why he's doing what he's doing. He's basically cheating to a certain extent. I call it cheating. Like, this isn't the same thing as pulling out your Ethernet cable to stun Crota indefinitely and to just kill him. You know, that it's not the same thing. you think it's the same thing, you're wrong. That was a silly little thing you could do physically, not using a program. It was a silly little bug. But so yeah, with 9318 saying that, everything kind of adds up. The fact that Ira is doing, and I'll just he's hiding his stuff, but essentially this guy is doing hold on, you can't see this. This guy is doing Vault of Glass every hour on the hour. Can't see that probably, but he's doing Vault of Glass standard on the hour every hour. And it makes sense how he got the title. It makes sense how he got the seal. Everything about this makes too much sense to me. Like, how would a guy do Vault of Glass every hour on the hour? And assuming that most of his runs are like Atheon clears. So, yeah, he's doing 20 million damage. He is cheating, essentially. That is the whole... This is how this guy is almost at 3,000 clears. We figured it out in the stream, and it's like, he's cheating. So he's really nothing special. He's not unhinged. He's just a cheater, right? And I don't know if this net limiter thing is... If it works in PvP, if it works in... I mean, it's got to work in PvP. It's probably a cheating mechanic, you know? I don't know why this thing exists. It's weird. But yeah, it's a networking software that limits you. So I don't know if this guy's going to get banned for this, but I will say that I do have his Bungie ID right here. I would ask that everyone reports him for cheating, because it is cheating. Most of your runs are fake. You're using an exploit online, which it's almost as bad as using like a Zim or like some tool in PvP to give you a better advantage. But it's wild that this dude is again, I don't know if what 9318 is saying is true, but it makes too much sense with the runs that the guy is doing, the runs that Ira's doing. Like the fact that a run every hour is not realistic. Like, you'd get tired. You would. There's no way you're playing Vault of Glass every hour. And I was like, this dude crazy? Is he unhinged? Like, what's the deal? Now we know he's cheating, using a net limiter to fake his runs basically and do just 20 million damage on Atheon. So it's interesting. I guess 9318 was also saying like he does Vault of Glass with his mates to get him done quick. So yeah, it's interesting. And obviously there's no way to prove this, right? You can't, unless I had footage of his damage numbers, which I don't, because I decided to do LFG instead of waiting for his mates to get on. And funny enough, I didn't mention this, but I did try to join on Ira after the whole LFG thing. I got kicked immediately. So I could have gotten video evidence of all of that happening, but again, I don't have proof. So you can take 9318's word for it if you want to, but I don't know, man. Those numbers, the numbers aren't adding up here. You know, it's like if you're doing Vault of Glass every hour, I think for the most part you have to be doing Atheon. There's no way you're just doing a full run every time. But the net limiter thing makes so much sense. 20 million damage in 5 seconds. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is cheating. Maybe he's not. And there's no way to know. But this is the like conclusion of this whole thing, because I feel like me and my friend Adam, we were in my stream discussing this. Like we create nonsense out of nothing, but this isn't really nonsense. I feel like we just had a whole arc about this guy, and now it's over because either he's cheating or he's doing something to fake his runs. It's hard to say. But the fact that this was a random that gave me this information is nuts. But I have reported Ira 3 times, so hopefully Ira gets banned, because it's not cool to fake your runs, because I have 35, 36, and 9318 has 435, and I'm sure those are all legit because that's a reasonable number. 3,000 almost is like, that's crazy. Seeing that number made me go, what? What? Ain't no way you're pumping those numbers, dog. You ain't doing that. You're not. So I thought I'd make a follow-up video to this just because like the video got a lot of attention, and I was like, well, we should probably just end the story. You know, we should just wrap up the arc. It's all done. But yeah, it is kind of wild that this guy possibly is cheating to get all those runs. And a lot of people were saying like paid carries. Like there was a bunch of different comments on like what could be happening here, and I think this is the more likely outcome, that the dude is cheating and that's how he's getting his runs done. Again, I've reported him, so hopefully Bungie bans him. If they don't, I mean, it's whatever. Like, the guys, listen, I have copy pasted on my phone, so I can keep looking up his profile, seeing if he's still playing, but I think he likes to stop playing Vault of Glass to kind of, it's almost like he's hiding what he's doing, right? Like, because if all he's doing is Vault of Glass, Bungie would probably get suspicious, but I don't know. It's interesting, but yeah, man. Ira is a net limiter user, apparently. That's the end of the arc, and we were saying in the stream, like, how are we gonna wrap up the arc? Well, we just report him and hope he gets banned, and that's how it finishes. You know, it's a whole thing. It's a whole freaking thing, but that is going to be the end of the video today. Thank you guys for watching. If you did, as always, I appreciate it a ton. And I will see you guys in the next video. And yeah, goodbye.